As non-traditional students, sometimes it's extremely difficult to find balance, especially if you are a single parent, whether you're a mom or a dad. Hey guys, thank you so much for clicking on this video. As you can tell by the title, this video is for grad students or college students who also happen to be parents. The semester is quickly approaching for us. Hi, I'm Danielle, and for those of you who do not know, I am a full-time paralegal. I am also a business owner, and I'm also a grad student. I have a BA in history, and so I'm pursuing my master's in history. And as a parent who's also a college student, also known as a non-traditional student, through the years, I've learned a lot of tricks and tips on navigating school while also being a parent. And let me tell you, it is not an easy thing. So I decided to make a video providing tips, and hopefully these tips can help you on your journey as well. I do have my notes here, so if I'm looking down, that is what I'm looking at. Straight into this video. Please don't forget to smash that subscribe button. Also be sure to hit the notification button that you'll be notified whenever I upload a new video. Let's get into these tips. Okay, first things first, you have to set clear goals, okay? And what I mean by goal setting is you want to have short-term goals and long-term goals. You have to define each. You have a time frame for each and what it is that you expect in that time frame. You want to also list out steps that are going to be required for you to succeed in your goals, okay? There's no point in having goals if you do not have a plan in how you're going to obtain them, okay? So that's tip number one. You have to set goals and you have to have strategic plans in order to reach the goals that you have set. Number two, you have to have effective time management. Now, being a parent is a lot. Being a college student is a lot. Being a grad student is a lot, okay? And so with these things coupled together, it's a whole lot of. So you want to make sure that you are doing everything in your power to minimize the stress of not managing your time properly. So you want to allocate time slots to each activity, okay? You want to make sure that you have the proper time to study. And side note, it is imperative that you know your study style, okay? So you need to set time aside to study, time aside for family, time aside for yourself. And these things need to be realistic, right? Like if you know that you're a single parent and you're not going to have the proper time to study when you get home, stay a little longer on campus while your kids are in school and you don't have class on the days in which they're in school. Go to a library, go to campus, because I find that you study, or at least I study better and more effectively when I'm out of my home environment. So I like to go to Starbucks, or I like to go to the library. I like to go to campus, mainly though because I do struggle with ADHD. I like to go to the library because it's quiet. Like if it isn't completely quiet, I cannot focus. And if I do, I have a really hard time focusing. So you have to find your study style. You have to find the environment that's most conducive for you to study and make sure that you're managing your time properly. Moving right along, but you want to balance school, work, study, family, personal time. You have to have balance, okay? So that means that you can't be unrealistic, right? Like for me, I had a huge problem with over dedicating myself to things, and I would become so overwhelmed and then not even complete the smallest task. Balance lets you know what you can and cannot do, right? Like balance is, I look at it as being in line with boundaries. Sometimes you just have to say no. If you know you cannot complete a task within a certain time frame, you need to be realistic with yourself. Also have to pay attention to the priority of tasks. If you know you have an assignment due that's worth 60% of your grade compared to a reading that's like just introduce yourself to the class, that's only 5% of your grade, but you're struggling to decide which one to do first, obviously do the one that's 60% of your grade. As non-traditional students, sometimes it's extremely difficult to find balance, especially if you are a single parent, whether you're a mom or a dad. So you have to strategically sit down and be realistic with yourself. You can't always do what others are doing. Just because it works for someone else does not mean it's going to work for you, right? So you have to be realistic because you know your lifestyle. You know what it is that you can and cannot do. You know the resources that you do and do not have. So all of these things factor into how not only you balance things, but how you're going to be able to apply any of these tips that I'm giving you, right? So some of these things may not be as easy for you as it may be for others. Make these things work for you, right? Because the ultimate goal is to successfully complete college or grad school. You want to obtain your degree while also being active in your children's lives. Next tip is to seek support, okay? Let me repeat that. You have to seek support. As a parent, as a grad student, I can speak from experience. Everyone does not have your experience, right? Some people are not going to be able to understand your plight. And if I could be like quite honest and candid, in undergrad, I had children, and that was just like taboo. Like a lot of people just could not relate to the struggles that I had to face because I was a single parent still going to college. There were times when I had to bring my daughter to class with me, like because daycare was so expensive and like, but we made it work, right? Like I did what I had to do to make sure that I got my degree and that my daughter was well taken care of and that she knew like anything is possible. So now it's a little better because I'm older and I'm in grad school now, but you have to seek support. And by support, I mean, you have to seek mentors. You have to find other non-traditional students. They may not be parents, but they may be old, they may be a caretaker to a parent, you know, but at any rate, there are non-traditional students. So they will be more inclined to understand some of your plights and will be able to give you better advice. And if you don't find the support on your campus, you could create a support group that you wish you had. Be that to someone else and you'll be surprised. Advisors are also good people to go to for help. You also want to make sure that you have a really good rapport with your professors. In the event that you may have to bring your child to class or that you are unable to attend class because, you know, something happened at home, have open communication with your professors so that they're aware and privy to your lifestyle and some of the things that may come up because of it. And you'll be surprised. A majority of professors are going to be open to helping you, and they will be more inclined to help you because they see that you're persevering and you're still going no matter what it is that you're going through. The next tip is to stay organized, right? And I would advise you to keep track of all deadlines, all assignment deadlines, and implement tools for project management. Now, for me, I'm kind of old school, so I really don't like putting everything in a calendar on the computer. So I always have a planner with me because that's the technique that works best for me. But if you like putting all of your information into a calendar or anything online, do whatever works best for you, right? But you have to keep track of your assignments and the deadlines because once you get behind, it's so hard to get back on track. It is so hard to get back on track. You want to make sure that you kind of stay ahead of everything so that you don't have to catch up. Okay, next tip. This is very, very, very important. You must prioritize self-care, okay? Prioritizing self-care helps to avoid burnout. It helps to maintain a work-life balance, and it ensures that you get proper rest, proper exercise, and things of this nature. Self-care is going to look different for each individual, right? Self-care for me, because I am 36, I like naps. I like to take naps. I like to have alone time. I like to let my thoughts settle because my mind races a lot. But it's different for each person. Now, sometimes self-care looks like getting a massage or going out or having a drink or doing, things with your friends. Whatever self-care looks like for you, please schedule that in your time slot. To schedule self-care, I would implore you to do so. It prevents burnout. Now, we're not going to sit here and act as if grad school, working full-time, being a parent, and maybe you're a wife or a husband, and all of the other responsibilities that you have is not beating your ass. lightly put, okay? It is hard. With inflation, some of us have, more than one job, or we have a job and a side hustle. And so you kind of feel like burnout is inevitable. It definitely will happen if you do not prioritize self-care. So please schedule self-care, and you need to be realistic with yourself. Even if the self-care is you going to the bathroom and taking a shower and telling your children, like, when I'm in here, please do not disturb me unless it is a dire emergency. Everyone does not have the luxury and the luxury to like go out and leave their children. Or if you're a new mom and you're breastfeeding, because I breastfed all three of my children, you have to pump, your breasts are sore. It's just so much that goes into like being a parent, coupled with everything else that you have to do. You just have to get in where you fit in, even if it's something small. Your mental health literally depends on it. Your physical health depends on it too. So please take time for self-care. The next tip, you have to build a network, okay? You have to build a network of individuals who are like-minded, who are in positions in which you want to be in, who are a little further along, those who can understand you, those who can understand your situation, those who are successful. So that may look like professors, like peers, that may look like someone who has already graduated and has completed the program. You have to have people who you can lean on and depend on to make sure that when you get tired, because you will get tired, and I don't mean like just physically, I mean emotionally and mentally, they'll continue to push you to that finish line. You also want to make sure that you attend academic events. So if the school is hosting something and your time permits, you want to go out, because again, this is another way to network. And we all know that your network is your what? Net worth. Okay. So you need to make sure that you're out. Like I said, whichever program you're in, you want to be present in anything that they have to offer. At least a few things, so that your name gets out there, your face gets out there. They can put a name with a face. You present well, and that you show that you're really motivated. Even though you are a non-traditional student, you're still showing up, you're still going above and beyond, and you're doing everything that's required to be successful, okay? And when you get to these events, this is the time to sell yourself. Make yourself known, make your presence known and felt. So in the event that an opportunity comes up and you're not there, someone can say in that room, I remember Danielle, she presented well, she seems like she would be good for X, Y, and Z. You want to always leave your mark and your impact. And remember that you are worth it, you belong there, and what God has for you is for you. Last tip is to attend workshops and conferences to help expand professional connections. It's kind of similar to what I said previously, but you want to make sure that you have a resume on you at all times. If you're not already employed, or if you're looking for better employment, you just want to make sure that you're in a place where you can sell yourself, because connections are extremely important. So you want to always continue to grow. You want to continue to enhance your skill set, okay? And if there are skills that you do not yet know, you need to learn new skill sets. You should be growing and learning every single day. Give yourself a month or 3 to learn a new skill set, so that way you are an expert in that, and then you build on that. It can be related to your field of study or your career, or it could just be related to something that you find personally interesting. But you should always be growing, learning and growing. And before this video ends, I just want to look at you and tell you, if you ever feel like you are out of place because you are a non-traditional student, if you've ever felt apprehensive about pursuing higher education because you're a non-traditional student, or because you feel like you don't fit in, or because you feel like it is too late, or because you feel like you've made too many mistakes, or because you flunked out of undergrad, or whatever it is, I want to tell you, none of that matters, okay? If it is placed in your heart, I want you to know God has placed that in your heart for a reason. And it is absolutely imperative that you do not dim your own light. You understand? I want to tell you, I have 3 children, okay? And I had them while in undergrad, okay? And I want you to know, I was a single mom. I am a single mom. I have a boyfriend now who helps me tremendously, but he is a very recent piece and part of my life. And so my oldest is 16. And so for a long while, I've been doing this by myself. I'm the first one in my family to obtain a degree. And I want you to know that it's absolutely possible. I do not want you to let any mistakes that you have made, anything that anyone else has said about you, anything that anyone has said about you or to you to deter you. Don't even let what you think about yourself, the negative things that you think about yourself, that negative self-talk that's always ringing in our ear, counter that with something positive. Even if it's something positive, even if it's something small, you constantly talk back to that negative thought. I want you to know you absolutely can do it. If no one else believes in you, I believe in you. I want you to get up every single day and look yourself in the mirror and tell yourself you can do this. Even if it's you by yourself, if you're the only one that believes in you, you can do it. I want you to leave comments, questions, concerns down below, and just know that I wish you the very best. And I'll see you with that degree, baby. Thank you so much for watching this video. Bye.